Before we start creating all of the custom functions in order to create our own framework for this new application, I would like to show you what some of the files inside of the Inc folder contain. So if we open our config.php, you can see we have several constants defined here. First of them is ds. And what it does, it uses another constant which figures out what directory separation is used on the current system. Because I'm using Mac, my directory separator will be a /. But if you are using Windows, then your directory separator will be a \. This is allowing us to dynamically create all of the paths and so on. Obviously, having this, once we create the entire system, you can host it on a Windows or you can host it on Mac, Linux, or any other system. We don't really have to find out or change any path names or anything like this because the system is automatically going to use the right directory separators. Then we have a root path. Root path uses the file constant. File constant basically guesses where the current file is located. So it will provide the entire path right to the Inc folder. Now, because we are in an Inc folder, and this is not really what our root path is, our root path is one level higher. So obviously, we're using our directory separators, a /, then 2 dots to escape, to get out of our Inc folder, right to our root, and directory separator right at the end. Then we have modules folder, which is mod dir _ dir, which is basically our modules folder here. Then we have our Inc folder as well, and template directory as well, which is our template folder. Once we've defined all these constants, then we are actually adding all these directories to our include path. So we set the include path, we implode the path separator, which again it's going to be depending on what system we are in, and then we join these add these paths to our include path, which will be root path, obviously a path to the root folder, directory separator, and our mode directory. So basically we add in the path to the mode folder, then we add path to the Inc folder, and then we add path to the template folder. Now what it really gives us, the reason for doing all this is that if, let's say, we're going to need one of the files which is inside of the mode folder and we are inside of the Inc folder, then we would have to go 2 dots and / or directory separator again in order to get to this file when we are using require once, include once, or include or require functions. You adding those paths to the include path, we only have to really specify the name of the file. So let's just put it underneath just to show you how it's going to work. Require once, and if I just put the name of the template file, which was _tmp header.php, this file will be automatically included here because the system knows that where to search for this file. It's got all these paths added to the include path. So we only have to provide the name of the file rather than doing 2 dots / and go to mod folder and then name of the file. We only will have to provide the name of the file. So this is why we're using this, just to make it easier for ourselves later on. If obviously you had any other folders which you would like to add to the include path, you can also add them here. So that's what inside of the config file. Then if we open our database file, dbase.php, we have 4 different constants again: db host, db name, db username, and db password. All these obviously refer to the connection to your MySQL database. db host, normally it's going to be localhost. db name is the name of the database we've created, which is multi_page_form. Username, on my MySQL database server, it's root, and a password which I have for my MySQL database server. Obviously yours might be different. You have to check, or if you remember obviously what you've created whenever you were setting them up. Then we have just a connection function assigned to the variable, which we'll be using later on during the series of these videos. So that's our dbase folder, and obviously our functions.php, which is currently blank, and we're going to be working on this in the next video.